Step 1. Get used oil. To begin the process of making biodiesel, you must first obtain used vegetable oil. To do this, you can go into any restaurant and ask them for some.
Set up a ring stand with a clean, dry burette. Carefully measure out 5 to 7 milliliters of 0.01 molar NaOH. Make sure that the stopcock on the burette is closed. Then pour the NaOH into it.
Carefully measure out 10 milliliters of 2-propanol. Pour the 10 milliliters of 2-propanol into the 25 milliliter Erlenmeyer flask, as demonstrated. Next, measure out exactly 1 milliliter of the used vegetable oil using an automatic pipette. Make sure to measure precisely. Add the 1 milliliter of oil to the isopropanol in the flask and swirl to make sure that they mix together. Add 2 to 3 drops of phenolphthalein into the 25 milliliter flask. Put the 25 milliliter flask with the used oil, isopropanol, and phenolphthalein under the burette. Open the stopcock, but only so that it begins to drip. Make sure to swirl the flask while the NaOH is being added. The solution might become milky. Don't worry, it's normal. Continue to add NaOH to the solution until it turns light pink. Once it does, remove it from the burette and swirl for 15 seconds. Make sure to note the volume of NaOH in the burette before the titration. Depending on the used vegetable oil that you use, the amount of NaOH needed to turn the solution pink will vary. In our case, it took a lot of NaOH to turn the solution pink. Therefore, it took a long period of time. Here you can see the light pink color that the solution has turned. Once it turns pink, remove it from under the burette and swirl for 15 seconds to make sure that the color stays. If it does not, then you must continue to add drops of NaOH. If it stays, you are done with your titration.
Measure the mass of a dry 25 milliliter Erlenmeyer flask. Add 10 milliliters of vegetable oil and measure the mass.
We have to do it together. It's a group project. Like how many do we do this once? What?
Yeah, you just do that part once and then you're gonna
Filming it. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Left it off for like 5
Add
minutes.
2 milliliters of ethanol and the amount of KOH calculated in part 1. Also add the stir bar.
Ashley.
Stir the reaction at 50 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes.
I keep it at like there.
It's so crowded here. Yeah. We just go to the other room.
Transfer the liquid into 2 centrifuge tubes. And centrifuge for 5 minutes. Discard the top layer of glycerol and KOH catalyst with a pipette. You're left with biodiesel! Combine crude biodiesel into 1 centrifuge tube. Add 1 milliliter of 0.1 molar acetic acid, cap tube, and gently invert 5 times. Don't shake. Centrifuge for 5 minutes. Then discard the bottom layer of waste. Repeat the same step using 1 milliliter of distilled water.
That's the most awkward way to do it.
Well, last time you couldn't really see it, so trying to.
But now I have to go up and down.
Yes.
Hi.
I said hi. I said come. Transfer your biodiesel to your original flask. And heat biodiesel between 70 to 80 degrees Celsius for 10 to 15 minutes to evaporate leftover water. Once finished, measure the mass of the biodiesel. To find out the pH, add 5 drops of biodiesel to 1 milliliter of distilled water and mix well. Use the pH paper to figure out the pH.
It didn't change color. Someone take this. I need.
Take a small amount of cotton and clamp the cotton with a test tube holder and then put it into a beaker. Put a small amount of biodiesel onto the cotton and have your teacher light it on fire to determine whether or not your biodiesel burns well.
You have oil.
But it is burning where we have it.
But see there, the white spot?
Oh, nice.
The oil is actually burning. So once it starts to turn black around that spot,
Means the oil
is
has
gone.
been-
Yeah.
70.
We're supposed to count how long? 21, 22.
So the oil's lasted pretty well there. Now it's starting to burn
Kind
over.
of, yeah.
But you definitely had something that burned. Now vegetable oil also burns. So
It's just coming to that one spot where we had the oil.
yeah. So you had more fuel there.
Thanks for watching!